We got Romeo Agresti coming on, so I'm looking forward to hearing what he's got to say. We're going to be discussing things like Fabio Paratici, Antonio Conte, and a few other things as well. We did also ask you for your questions on Twitter, so I will put some of them to him as well and see if he's got anything to say about a lot of your questions. So without further ado, should we get Romeo on?
Yeah, and if you want to send Romeo a question, do send it in a super chat, and we'll get that question straight away to Romeo Agresti. But without further ado, let's get Romeo on. How's it going,
Ciao,
my friend?
boys. How are you?
I'm good. How you doing, mate? Thanks for coming
I'm good,
on.
guys. Sorry for my bad English, but I'm taking private lessons, and I think that Fabio Paratici will do the same in the coming weeks. So we are on the same level, but thanks for your invite.
No, our pleasure. Obviously, we know Fabio Paratici is set to be appointed as Spurs sporting director in the coming days. The move is imminent. I want to know from your side, he was at Juventus for a very long time and supposedly done an amazing job there. What kind of impact did he have on Juventus Football Club during his time there?
Unbelievable, guys, because, I had the opportunity to start working in this business, and that was my first experience, but also for him at Juventus, because he spent 11 years at Juventus and he won 19 trophies. So that means a lot for him, but especially for Juve. Guys, believe me, I think that Fabio Paratici is the best, not one of the best, but the best sporting director in the world. Because the best, absolutely. In terms of scouting, in terms of selection of the players, for me, Fabio is the best. And it's a big loss for Juventus, but it's an unbelievable signing for Spurs, for Tottenham. And I know very well that he's ready to do his best for Tottenham. In the coming days, he will fly to London to sign the contract. He's full of energy for his next experience. And guys, believe me, he's an unbelievable signing for you.
That is really great to hear, Romeo, and obviously a lot of Tottenham fans are very excited by his potential or imminent appointment at the moment. And as you say, he is the best. But why is he leaving Juventus? Why has it just come to an end? Is it an actual end after being at a club for so many years? Is he looking for a new challenge? Why has he ended up?
Mate, that's simple. An end of an era. After spending 11 years in a club, maybe you feel it's time to leave, it's time to live an experience abroad, it's time to know a new culture, a new language, a new idea of football. And I can tell you that in that period, when he was sporting director at Juventus, he had a lot of bid. A lot from Barcelona, from Paris Saint-Germain, from Man United, Tottenham, because Tottenham were interested in signing Paratici already 3 years ago. So he knows very well your owner, he knows very well the word Spurs, and if he said yes to Tottenham, is because he knows that there he can do very well. And according to my sources, Tottenham were his first choice, and also for that he accepted the bid.
And obviously it was linked that he was going to come along with Antonio Conte as well, which obviously those talks obviously broke down last week on Friday night. In terms of Fabio Paratici's managerial list, there's rumours he's going to be now drawing up a managerial list and heading the recruitment on that side. Do you have any inkling, or do you have, if you are trying to get in Fabio Paratici's head, do you have any inkling what kind of manager he's going to be going for? Who's going to be looking at? Maybe a manager outside the box in Italy? Maybe who are you thinking?
First of all, I have to say that I think that Fabio will decide the next Spurs coach. And this is the most important thing, because it will be an easy decision. Of course, Antonio Conte was his first choice, because they had the opportunity to work together for 3 years at Juventus. They won 3 titles in a row. They are they are friends. And at the beginning of the talks, Antonio was very attracted to Spurs offer, but after spending 2 years at Inter, maybe for him it's better to take a break, and he said no to Tottenham at the end of the story. But I'm sure that the next coach at Tottenham will be by Paratici decision. I don't know who could be possible, to be honest, but 100% he will take his first decision.
And there's also he's been famed for, you know, his free transfers, Paratici, for his time. He's been getting a lot of free transfers during his time. Obviously, in recent times, maybe likes of Ramsey and Emre Can on very, very big wages, who maybe haven't been that good. But do you see him going for a similar approach at Tottenham, or do you think he'll be looking at maybe younger players in Europe who are up and coming?
That's not sure, because I think that Tottenham are a rich club. So we have the opportunity to spend the money. At Juventus,
you wouldn't know by how much we spend.
A little bit, because as I told you, I called him Fabio Free Transfer Paratici, because he brought in Turin Dani Alves, Pogba, Pirlo, Ramsey, Emre Can. Unbelievable, guys. I think that he has clear ideas. He knows very well what he has to do. He's a serial winner, guys. He won 9 titles in a row. He's the best. He's the best. And for me, for you guys, it's unbelievable signing. Believe me. And you will understand that, of course, during the coming weeks, during the coming month, he will sign a 3 years contract. And in that period, of course, his first target is to win something with Tottenham, because he's a serial winner. He won at Juventus and he wants to continue to win in the Premier League. No doubt about that.
Amazing. And that obviously gets a lot of Spurs fans very excited hearing that and hearing about his ambition. But one of the big failings of a lot of maybe previous sporting directors at Tottenham, and managers even, is falling out with the chairman, Daniel Levy, and having to work within his constraints. Obviously, with Paratici having agreed to join Tottenham, he must have known with these constraints with Daniel Levy. But do you think they'll work well together, in your opinion? What's the sense you get?
The point is very clear, because he will be the director of football. Then he will have huge power. He will decide the roster. He will decide the coach. He will decide the man that they will work with him. So, of course, I think that, with the owner, you must respect his decision. But Paratici is a top player. He's a very top player. And, of course, I think that we have the full control of the area sport. No doubt about that, because that's Fabio Paratici.
And do you think when you heard about the whole Antonio Conte thing, obviously he was at Juventus for a while, and then obviously won Serie A last season with Inter Milan before deciding to leave. Were you surprised? First of all, were you surprised that Tottenham were even in for him, and then how quickly talks broke down after looking like they were progressing quite positively? Well, did that whole deal surprise you last week?
No, guys, because I had the opportunity to work when Paratici was here in Turin at Juventus, but I know very well Antonio Conte as well. And I know very well that he likes a lot to live in London, because he had an unbelievable experience at Chelsea. So he likes to come back there. But there were some issues in terms of member of his staff. He wants more money. He asked to keep, for example, Harry Kane. So it was impossible to find an agreement quickly. And then also for this reason, I think that he prefers to stay 1 year without working, to recharge the battery, to stay close to his family. But the most important thing, it's, believe me, guys, that Fabio Paratici is there. I'm so excited for you, because I first of all, this season I will support Spurs. So, and then I'm sure that Fabio will do an amazing job, because he's the best.
Wow, that's exciting.
Romeo, we've got some questions from Twitter. Some Twitter followers have asked you some questions, so I'm going to get through them. The first one is, what is Paratici like as a person? Is he fiery and assertive, and is he likely to clash with Daniel Levy?
So guys, I don't know Daniel Levy. I don't know how he works, but I'm sure that Paratici will do his job without problem, because when you see Fabio works every day, you know very well that he has a huge passion, he knows what he has to do, and guys, I repeat, he's a serial winner. Levy, no. No. He must believe in Paratici's abilities to improve the club, to improve his mentality, to improve the mentality of the fans. Fabio is the perfect one for this world.
And moving on, this is from Timmy Langen, and he says, is Dybala a realistic target for Tottenham, or is it most likely just another rumour that will stay a rumour?
No, he was very close to joining Tottenham 2 years ago, because he had the opportunity to sign for you when there was Maurizio Pochettino the coach. They have a very good relationship, but I think that Dybala will stay at Juventus because Massimo Allegri wants to keep him, so no talks with Spurs.
There's a few other ones. So there was a question, I'm trying to find the question now, but he's talking about, here we are, from Antonio Agrosa. He says, could Spurs be potentially interested in Rugani, DeCilio, Aaron Ramsey, or Bernardeschi? Any chance of any of these players potentially being of interest? And would they be available? And would they be good signings?
Yeah, but they are not good players, and Fabio wants just top players. Maybe Juventus and Tottenham will open some negotiation in the future. I'm not sure during this transfer window, because now Paratici is just arriving in London, so it's not. He's a gentleman, Fabio. But in the future, never say never, because he has a very good relationship with everyone here. So, but I don't think that names are in Spurs radar.
Yeah, fair enough. Another question here from Dara says, I've heard all his good points of his work he's done at Juventus. What are his bad points or scenarios where he might find challenging at Tottenham? What do you think for Paratici? Does he have any flaws maybe in his what he does?
That's a very good question.
Maybe 80 million for Higuain. That might be one.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, that's true. But we don't forget that Juventus with Higuain have played a huge UEFA Champions League final against Real Madrid, and it was brilliant in that year. Yeah, maybe Ramsey that. Is always injured, he doesn't play, so he hurts a lot, and it's now difficult to find a club for him. But guys, if I speak about Carlos Tevez, Andrea Barzagli, Leonardo Bonucci, if I speak about Paul Pogba, that he brought at Juventus as a free agent, then he sell him for 90 million euros. So guys, Fabio, I told you, he's the top.
Yeah, but there's one thing trying to convince these players to join Juventus, where they're most likely to win a trophy or two every year. 7 or 8 years in a row they won the Serie A title. There's another thing convincing them to join Tottenham. Do you think that his pool will still be that big at Tottenham as it was at Juventus?
Good point, because of course it's more difficult to win at Tottenham than Juventus. But if we speak about Tottenham, we speak about a club with a huge tradition, huge story, unbelievable facilities. Because I remember that I went to your training center before Tottenham Juventus the day ahead of Tottenham Juventus in Wembley, and when I went there, I saw unbelievable. Amazing. And also for this season, for this reason, Paratici said yes to Tottenham, because he knows very well that there he can improve step by step, facilities top, good owner rich, good supporter, good players. So there is the possibility to open a cycle. It's impossible to say that Tottenham will try to win the Premier League during this season. Too early. But maybe in 3-4 2 or 3 years. I'm sure, guys, if you sign Paratici because you want to win, stop.
Well, that's what we like to hear. I mean, we're trying to win here at Tottenham.
Paratici, guys, is not Franco Baldini. Paratici is a serial winner. Baldini is a businessman. It's different.
Well, I mean, I guess it all depends what kind of manager he does bring in to kind of work with. Obviously, you've spoken a lot about Antonio Conte. One name that is kind of hot on the lips at the moment is Erik ten Hag of Ajax. Do you reckon that them two could work very well together in terms of bringing glory back to Tottenham?
I will try to discover that and I will say you in the coming days, because to be honest, I had the opportunity to speak with Paratici in the last days. I text you, good luck for your future in London. And he told me, that's not a done deal, I'm just close, but I know that that's a done deal already. And maybe it could be a good name, but I told you guys that I'm sure that he will decide this coach, because now he will be the king of the area sport at Tottenham. So he will decide, not other guys, no other person. Fabio Paratici will decide what Tottenham will do in terms of coach and roster. Stop. And maybe it could be, because guys, there are not a lot of names available now. It's difficult to find the right coach. But it could be a good name. I will let you know, guys, in the coming days. I will give you an exclusive.
Romeo, I'm very much looking forward to that exclusive. And thank you very much for coming on and giving up your time to come on and give us a lowdown on Fabio Paratici. It's a big pleasure to have you on the channel.
My pleasure, guys. See you in London for a beer before the match.
100%. I'm looking forward to it, my friend. See you soon.
Mate. Thanks a lot. Cheers for coming on.
And that was the great Romeo Agresti. I just want to say thank you very much for coming on and giving us really good insight there.
That was good stuff.
Into Paratici.
The
really
best
good insight.
sporting director in the world, in his opinion. The best, bar none.
Yeah, you know, I don't think we could have got that kind of insight from any of the English journalists.
No,
that's for
definitely
sure.
not.
So.
He knows very well what Paratici's good at, and he has a very, very high opinion of him. And that's exciting. I think I'm getting more excited now listening to him, what he's got to say. So that's really, really good. That's really, really positive. And let us know what you think of what Romeo had to say on Paratici, because I'm excited now.
Yeah, we're all excited. Everyone's getting excited for Fabio Paratici.
He said it doesn't matter about Conte. You got Paratici. That's the main thing. That's the number one.
That's mad.
That's what he said.
That's mad. Although I was saying at the time when we were linked with both of them, I was saying that's the one I was most excited for, because it means that Daniel Levy will be taking a step back if we do bring in someone like that.
Yeah, and that's supposed to be.
So that was the most exciting thing for me.